Hi, I'm Vyshnavi. I'm an undergrad student at University of Massachusetts, Boston, and I study economics. I currently reside in Boston. It was pretty chill. I didn't have to worry about anything except for my exams, I guess, and where I'd go to for college. Yeah, it was pretty normal, I'd say. Not too many responsibilities. I think the exposure. I think for students, the biggest reason would be exposure, and I also wanted to experience what it would be like to, live alone and figure things out on my own because I had my parents around me for 18 years of my life. The first year at UMass Boston, I think the first semester, I was pretty reserved. I didn't really talk to a lot of people, and I had a close group of friends, very good friends. But since I did have that group, I don't think I felt the need to branch out. But the second semester, I was more outgoing. I made a few more friends. And yeah, I think overall, my first year at UMass Boston has been very fruitful. I think I also did very well academically. I had a lot of expectations, and that's fine. I thought I would be the best person there. I thought I'd have a lot of friends. I thought life would be easy. But it's okay. That's how you learn. That's how you learn to do your laundry, clean your room, cook your own food. It's all a part of living alone in another country. Yes, but I think after each hurdle or obstacle, I've learned a new lesson and how to deal with it and how to grow. I had to navigate it, not alone thankfully, because I had my mom there with me, and I also had one window to help me out. So yeah, I don't think I've ever felt alone in that moment, but it did feel very, I don't know how to put it, like I was thrown into the world at once. I've always thought of transferring ever since I've even applied to UMass Boston. And the main reason for that was my degree and my area of study. I always wanted to live in a city that was known for its finance or economics hubs. And personally, I felt like Boston is still a good pick. But the course that I was studying, I felt NYU had a better edge and somewhat of a better exposure to the industry itself. Considering it's located extremely close to Wall Street, I thought it would be a better call. My fear was about credit transfers. Like, I have worked so hard for a year, and I've also taken up a few difficult courses I didn't know I'd have to deal with again. And I've scored pretty decently, so I thought if these credits would not get transferred, I'd probably have to go through the entire thing all over again at NYU. And I also was scared that if these credits don't get transferred, I'd probably have to study for 5 years. So that was a fear that I had. I think I've always had this. The first time I visited America, I sort of made my mind to study in New York, and I didn't even know of NYU back then. But then once I got into high school and started studying, I realized NYU was a really good and a prestigious university. So that drew me towards that, and my interest in economics sort of just fueled that obsession even more. So I think after my first round of applications to Singapore went wrong, didn't turn out the way I expected it to. It was like an opportunity for me to apply to America, and Boston was actually a very good decision, I feel, because that gave me the right path. I think it took me to the right path so that I would get transferred to NYU eventually. Nothing was different. I think One Window's always been very consistent with the way they help their clients, their students. So I'm very happy, obviously, very evidently so. Everything was pretty straightforward. If it had to be done domestically in the US, I could have done it easily by communicating with the university. If something had to be done in India, One Window was there to reach out, for me to reach out. So nothing was that confusing or frustrating, I'd say. Yes, this one meeting I had with Anurag sir, I think after my rejection from Singapore, I'd gone to this local college here in Hyderabad, and immediately after like the first class, mom and I went to go talk to him, and that's when, you know, he was like, we are applying to the United States. You cannot let go of this opportunity. This should be like a motivator for you to, you know, in a way do better and maybe apply to other countries to see, because you can't let your caliber go to waste. And yeah, my mom was also there to help me and support me. So I think that was one of the most memorable meetings I've had here. So I was in my room. It was around 5 p.m. and I was stressed about my math grades. I thought I'd flunked an exam, or maybe I had to like email my professor to talk to him about it, or maybe go to an extra class to his office hours, whatever, you get the gist. And so I opened my email and I see an email from NYU. Now I'm getting stressed. Why is there an email from NYU? It could be two things. I either got accepted, actually wrong. I either got rejected or waitlisted. I never imagined that I'd get accepted, so I'm stressing out. I'm calling up my mom. It was what, 1 a.m.? I don't know. She was asleep. She answered my call. She thought I was like dying. She is worried, and I talked to her about NYU, and she's like, what about NYU? Something's up. So I got some email, and I was like, I need the logins now. She was like, you can't irritate people at one window at this hour. I was like, I know. What are the logins? So she gives me the logins anyway. I log in and I see it says congratulations. I was surprised. I didn't know that could happen. I reread the email, in fact, multiple times. I've also made my roommate read it. I have also made my mother read it, and my grandmother. My brother has been reading it ever since I got the admit. So yeah, that's how it's been. Yeah, of course it did. I didn't think I'd get into NYU. I'm sorry. I expect to be thrown into reality once again. New York is certainly not an easy city to live in, but I think if you learn to make your space and you learn that you have earned your place over there, there's no better feeling in the world. And I think New York has a lot to offer once you have overcome that stage. So I'm preparing myself to go through all of that, because nothing can go wrong now. Nothing. I think I'd just tell her to stop worrying as much. Maybe to like sleep a little more, because I was too stressed about it since God knows when. And because of that, people around me were also evidently getting stressed. So I'd say nothing is ever that big of a deal. You know, like, I didn't imagine I'd get into NYU, and I was always in that mindset that it could go wrong. And even if it did go wrong, I'm in Boston. It's still a great place to live in. I don't think you should really worry or stress too much about it, because what is bound to happen will happen, and there's nothing you can virtually do to change it. What can you lose? Like, you're already at a good place. All you're trying to do is to see if you would even, you know, make it to a better place. Do what you feel like is right for you. If you feel like it's worth it to invest that sort of time, money, and all that brain space into a transfer, then do it, because I don't think it wouldn't be rewarding. That's life. Yeah, we all have these plans, plan A, plan B, plan C, plan C. I'm forgetting alphabets. It's important to know that even though you have these many plans, it's not a building you're building with a blueprint. It's life. You just let it do its thing. You can't just expect things to go your way. I thought I'd be in Singapore right now, but look where I am. So it's not about things going your way. It's about you being able to deal with things even if they were to go wrong.